Hi Pisces, this is Wishko the Ferret. Thanks for hopping into the Ferret Den where we're keeping things warm and we're keeping things cozy. Today we have a reading for you for May 1st to the 7th. We have a full moon in Scorpio coming out on May 5th or the 6th depending on where you're at. So definitely check out your favorite astrologer if you want to work with that energy, if you want to figure out how it affects your own energies and you want to work your moon magic around this time. Definitely keep an eye out because there is a lunar eclipse happening around this time too. So, as always, Pisces, drop into your heart space. Let the dust spiritually, physically, and emotionally settle around and within you so that you can determine which messages are for you and which messages are for others. You could be Pisces sun, moon, rising, or just be attracted to the Pisces energy at this time and wanting a message from them. I already said my prayer before, so I'm just going to take a breath and dive right in here with your tarot. So when I close my eyes and connect with your energy, I am seeing a mountain. I'm seeing just a whole mountain range, and then I'm seeing this huge mountain, and then the sun's coming up from behind that big mountain. This really tall mountain. I recently came out of a conversation with a friend. We were talking about the Alps, and we were talking about how they had taken like 20 plus years to drill a it was like this whole project funded by the European Union where they drilled a hole basically through a mountain and they put like a train system through there. And it saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of resources. But for whatever reason that's coming through, that's specifically, so maybe this message could be for somebody who was checking on the Alps project or like whatever that was. But for whatever reason, that imagery is coming through and it's almost like there is a question here. I don't really know what this question is. There's like, it's almost like if there are any doubts this week, it definitely feels like it's just coming up from within because the focal point of your reading is the Eight of Swords energy. So it's almost like your spirit guides kind of want to put you a stop to like kind of want to put a stop to your self-doubt. The negative self-talk that could be happening at this present moment. Why are the mountains here? So for some of you, you might have to feel like you have to go over this mountain and you might feel like it's impossible, but really you can spend a lot of time actually drilling into this mountain. It might take longer to drill through the mountain, but it saves a lot of your resources and a lot of time to just go through the mountain. Your astro dice show Jupiter, Leo, and the second house. And the thing with Jupiter is that you're expanding. You have a wide range of opportunity here too. Whatever's coming through, you have multiple ways to tackle whatever situation is happening this week. Whatever the main focus of this week is, if there's like a problem or an issue or any doubts concerning your future, there is something here that is it's offering some form of like expansion to your thoughts and expansion to your wisdom. Spirit is also asking you to expand your the natural traits of the Leo, so your optimism, your confidence of what you can undertake, and it's the fact that it's manifesting in the second house. The second house can be our like inner values, but it is also ruling our financial house. So it rules our finances. And I do feel like there are ways you can expand to kind of get past hurdles. I feel like whatever doubts are coming up at this time could be related to finances. It's almost like you're looking for ways to expand or to earn more. And you just need to develop your confidence that you're able to do that. Or if you're starting a new business venture, the Spirit's definitely saying it's possible, but it might require some tweaks into your like mentality in order to because like all you basically need, like you have the skills, you have like the goods to get it started, it's just the confidence to take off with it. Okay. The Two of Cups here is coming out as a sign. It could be the sign that new love is on the way for you. If you're putting your energy out there and wanting to find love, it can find you, and it can be a pretty good connection that could last a while. It's like typically the Two of Cups comes out when it's a soulmate connection. This is also your connection with your higher self as well. So like if you are really just embracing interchange, when something's coming up from within you and wanting to change, acknowledge it, let it happen, accept it, and work with it so that you can integrate this newer self into your current state of being, because there is something coming up from within for a reason. If there are doubts coming up, it's coming up with like for a reason. Okay, so definitely keep that in mind for this week. You also have the Hierophant, and I know a lot of people don't like to see the Hierophant, but I feel like this is you being very stern about your boundaries, because I do feel like you're a little bit, for whatever reason, I'm just getting a sense that you're like closed off or walled off right now. The Hierophant in the traditional tarot does mean that there is some form of tradition or routine that you follow, or it could be like a religious thing or a religious figure related message. But in the Hierophant, I really do feel like it could be like an officiate, but I'm getting more in the sense of law. So, I mean, if there is some type of legal thing that you're waiting for, it could be something that happens this week in terms of, like, you could be dealing with like legal stuff right now. But in general, it almost feels like you are putting up walls and boundaries and then like keeping certain people out. I don't know if it's one particular person or some people, but I mean, some of you could actually be like finalizing a divorce or something, or like actively wanting to put up the walls to like separate from someone in some way. But it could be something like that, or there's just something about like putting your barriers between yourself and even like just other people. And even if you plan to let them back into your life, it's almost like I need this time for me right now. And again, with your Eight of Swords being in like the focal point of your reading, there is something right now that you're not seeing. There are some thoughts to kind of work through, but you can let yourself out of it pretty easily. But Spirit wants you to know, with the Wheel of Fortune coming out, the messages that are coming through with this is that the Wheel of Fortune says that there are some things in life that are just like sometimes, like not even sometimes, when we sign up to come into this life, we do have certain things that are in our soul path that we have to deal with. But everything else, I mean, we all have our like you can honestly like quit everything now and pack up and move to like a whole different place if you have the resources to do so. Or you can make certain decisions that could change the whole trajectory, and then your guides would be like, oh snap, we got to rewrite everything. Like you have the power to make those decisions. Just make sure that like anything that you do this week is make sure that it is aligned with your soul and your soul growth. So whatever energy, the Wheel of Fortune card says, yes, there are fated things, but whatever you put your energy into is basically what you receive from it. So we actually we are the creators of our own universe. Like we do manifest our own destinies here. And the Wheel of Fortune is just a casual reminder from Spirit saying that, yes, you do have the capability, but whatever you're putting your awareness and your attention to is what you will receive. So make sure that you are putting your energy to things that you really want to focus on this week, things that really matter to you in the grand scheme of things, in the great big picture. So to combat that Eight of Swords energy, we have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is offering a different perspective. So when I said earlier to sharpen your mindset a little bit, or sharpen your perspective in order to help you through the challenges this week, there are doubts and things coming up from within. And perhaps you are letting them restrain you from moving forward. But you can very easily let yourself kind of navigate through them and kind of dance around these swords, take the blindfold off, and leave the scenario if you take the form of a different perspective. So Spirit's saying, think about it like this. Think about it in a different way. Whatever way you have to do that, I feel like your answer will come to you like in the form of like something very physical in the world. But it does feel like Spirit is kind of they're engaging with you at this time and sending you signs of like, here's how you can think instead, or here's the types of things that you can say instead. Really take those to heart when you feel like a knowing, like, oh my gosh, is that a sign from my guides saying that I should do this? Like, chances are, if you're thinking that and it's actually something that like actually lifts up your heart, when you are sitting there wondering, is that a sign from my guides? But it's bringing you like a lot of peace and comfort in your heart. Don't listen to like the logical thing of like, for whatever reason, there's something coming up from within, like right now, like it was like a video that I watched a while ago that had said like let's say you split up from someone, like a lover or something, but you keep seeing signs in relation to them. Sometimes those signs pop up and you're like, sometimes people get very confused because they see these signs and they're like, oh my gosh, how do I follow the signs? Because it's trying to give me things that I want to forget. Or like if you're like having like, oh, well, here's like the birthday of your lover, ex-lover, oh, or like, oh, here's like, what you were just thinking about in relation, or like maybe you turn on a TV show and like the next episode just happens to be like something about like something that reminds you a lot of an ex-lover, and you're like, oh my gosh, and it was something sent to you. You feel it in your soul that it was a sign, but you don't know what that sign means. And some people often mistake that sign as, I need to go back to this person. But oftentimes it is just a sign from your guide saying, look, I hear you, and I see that, like, like this is like the messaging system. Okay, Spirit is coming through. Like, I just heard my ear ringing, and they want me to channel a message, because I've been contemplating this a little bit myself. So I'm just going to say what they're coming through with. This is like the universe. This is the way that the universal messaging system works. You get what you make. So when you want something, you see signs of it. Clever. It's clever. It could come up in clever ways to where things are put into so much detail that you almost are just completely flabbergasted of like, oh my gosh, that is so closely related. It has to mean this. When you see those signs, act on them. But act on them in a way that brings your soul the healing that you need. That is an opportunity, an invitation from, I just heard the Lord, but like the Lord, your angels, your guides, that is an opportunity from the universe to you. It's like testing your patience or measuring, no, I wouldn't say testing your patience. You might feel like it's testing your patience, but it's almost like measuring how far, like not how far you're willing to go for yourself. This isn't like a test, but it's an opportunity for you to choose. Your guides are actively giving you a choice. You know what this means. You know what this is bringing up for you. So make a choice. Are you going to actively engage in this energy that you know hurt you? Or are you going to choose to acknowledge it, say thank you for being there for me, accept it with grace, but then move on and go to the next thing? So oftentimes your spirit guides want you to know that they're not looking to confuse you in any way. They're not looking to try and change your course of action. If you've already made the decision to let go of something or someone or a situation and you said bye-bye, it's for the better. But these things coming up from you, it is the universe, is the universal messaging system. It's how it works. Your soul is speaking to you through the universe. Your guides are speaking to you through the universe. You have made the necessary changes, so let's wait and see, is what Spirit says. I'm not sure what that means, and for whatever reason, my cleric gustins. Is that what the smell is, the clear smelling? I never experienced this, but I'm smelling like, they're not giving me a very distinct smell, but it is a very, like, I would describe the scent as familiar. Not to me, but it smells familiar. So whatever is familiar to you, it's like the smell of something familiar, the smell of maybe like an old aunt or uncle maybe that you haven't seen in a while, something that reminds you of like old childhood things. But there's some kind of scent coming through that reminds me of like a pale orange, pale yellow type of vibe. I don't know. But it's like a memory that's coming up or a smell of a loved one that you used to smell. But there's something coming up here that's almost like returning to your roots and finding that anchor point, or that like a loved one is around you at this time. There's something here that's like, it has like a nostalgia feeling to it. You're doing a great job so far, is what Spirit wants you to know. But always consider signs as signs. Those signs are signs of a loved one's presence. A loved one's presence, they're acknowledging what you're going through, and they are kind of giving you the question of, okay, so this is your opportunity to heal from this. What actions or what way do you need to look at this? What what within you needs to be initiated. It's initiating something within you so that you can turn your attention towards things that you actually like, different things that you want, not old things that you want that you've already chosen to let go of, so that way you can want new things and start calling those new things in. So for whatever reason, Spirit was trying to tell me that was like a universal messaging system. So I'm sorry. I hope that made sense. That was like a weird, like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever channeled something that clearly or strangely before. But anywho, your clarifiers are Queen of Pentacles, Pisces. Queen of Pentacles is having everything that she needs. She is especially from the Tarot of Dragons, is a very nurturing card. Whatever you are giving birth to, or whatever, like, I mean, this doesn't have to be, you don't quite literally have to give birth, but whatever project you are taking care of at the moment, whatever you're putting your energies towards, whatever is growing right now, that you are cultivating, that you are nursing back to health, whatever you are working on, it grows quickly. It's growing quickly, and they're showing me like images, like symbols from my own life that I'm recognizing as something growing very quickly. You blink and you miss the growth. Like all of a sudden, boom, it's there. And Spirit is saying that's how quickly first of all, that's how quickly your guides send messages, is very quickly. Secondly, sometimes we receive answers before we ask the questions too. So that might sound a little cryptic, but if it's for you, then it'll make a little bit of sense. But there's something here about, like, the second thing I wanted to mention with the Queen of Pentacles is that while it grows, like, that's like the attention that you're feeding to it. The attention that you're feeding, like, those things grow very quickly. So turning your attention to things that you love will help you like receive more abundance for the things that you love. The Sire of Cups is basically the King of Cups in the traditional tarot. With this guy, what's the Sire of Cups saying? Okay, so so interesting. I don't really know what this means, so I'm gonna have to work with this a little bit. But they're saying that, like, you're almost... This is, like, the weirdest thing that's coming through. Pisces, y'all's reading is, like, really strange. But in the picture, you see that the Sire is huge. He's huge. He's taller than any palm tree. And for whatever reason, that's, like, the situation that Spirit wants to call me to first. So not only does he have a grip of emotions, he, like, the King of Cups in the traditional tarot is being in, like, having a cool head even when the waters around you seem very rough, even when the rest of the world seems to be falling apart. You have a very steady mind. You are able to handle your emotions. You're able to understand other people's emotions, and you can take action accordingly, like in accordance with the situation, because you understand, you're understanding the energies around you. You have a keen understanding of it, and it's almost like you're taller. Like, I don't know why. I don't know if you're just a tall individual or you're like, but the thing that they want to show me the most is that they want you to know that you're taller than the palm trees. You're taller than any fears that are coming up from within. You are bigger than that. You are stronger than that, is what they're coming through with. Like, the king worked his ass off to get where he is, and you're already in that position of feeling like you are at the top. You might not actually be at the top, but you are further along than you feel you are. I feel like you're very emotionally mature and a lot farther spiritually than you think you are. And Spirit's kind of coming through also with this card to say that they said something about a scribe. So perhaps that is one of your, I guess, jobs or your assigned missions in this life, should you choose to embark on that, is to be a scribe for humanity, and kind of, I don't know if it's like in the form of like a historian, or even just like crafting like fiction or nonfiction works or something, or being a writer of some sort. But it's almost like, I just heard like needing a scribe. Do you need a scribe? Do you need a scribe? Because I feel like you're the guy, or like, you know, you're the gal or whatever. Like, you're the person that either, I don't know if like it's journalism where you write events, or perhaps you are scribing your own life where you're writing memoirs and sharing that wisdom with others who are going through difficult situations like you have. But there's something here about using your craft of word to connect others. You have the ability to like share your wisdom with others and bring others closer together. And it's almost like Spirit's recognizing that as a gift within you and a gift that you are sporting more this week. Okay, we're also going to pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, and we'll see what kind of oracle card you got. Another one of y'all, another one of these signs got this card too. Flexible. So despite the rough waters, despite how things might not be looking quite perfect for you at this present moment, Spirit is asking that you be a little bit flexible. So even if things aren't perfect, to just bend and roll with the tides a little bit this week, because it's only temporary. Like you're not going to have to balance on that ball or that egg forever. Just, you know, bend around certain things, because some things, especially when we're going through change, it's almost like Spirit's like kind of like enlightening you a little bit during this time period, and the shift feels uncomfortable, but just kind of bend and roll with it. You also have the card New Life. So New Life here is quite literally indicative of that. Perhaps you have moved to a new place, or perhaps you are starting a new project or a new job. Even if you're not starting anything new, this new perspective is almost like you are coming into a new life. So after you go through this change with the Hanged Man, that is like a transformation, and you are coming into this state of, you know, stretching and yawning, kind of getting up out of bed and almost being a new person. So there is a potentiality here for embracing this new you or this new self. And you get to experience the world from a different light, and it's from the light of this new perspective. So definitely work with Spirit on that. And I always recommend that people work with Spirit under the moon if moon magic calls to you, just because we have a new moon, we have a full moon coming up. So I feel like it's the perfect time. Also, boom. So you have actually 3 cards that pop out, and the first one that popped out was Adapt, just like our flexible card. So Spirit was like, I said what I said and I meant it. This Adapt card says you will get yourself where you want to be. So it's really, they really are just double messages. Usually mean that we need to hear them twice. To the Spirit's like, cool it. We got this under control. You got this under control. Things aren't looking the way that you want them to be right now, but they really just want to make you understand it's temporary. I know I said it before, but I will say it again because Spirit wants you to hear it again. This situation that you're in is only temporary. It's not going to stick around forever, so don't bank on it being around forever. Okay? So you have be present, use the hours, don't count them. I don't think I've ever... That's so interesting, because I feel like there's another card in here that... I don't actually remember getting this card, like, ever, but I'm pretty sure it's come up at some point or another. But essentially, that's just what it is. Use the hours. Don't count them. So instead of looking forward or back and trying to plan and cultivate things, like I said, this is only temporary. Just try to deal with it as it is. Use them, because not only does that make the time go faster, but it also helps. 1717. So if you're in an uncomfortable, there's 1717 on my clock, by the way. That's why I'm like, whoa. But if you are feeling like, you know, things couldn't be the greatest right now, honestly, spending your hours right now, like, is the quickest way to get through it, because you're experiencing life. But you can also have good moments in the present when you're not thinking about all the challenges around you. Honestly, so just breathe through it. Because Spirit is saying patience, wait for the fruit to ripen. So it's not always going to be all hunky-dory, but Spirit is saying that after a while, things will get better, and just have a little bit of patience for your manifestations to come to fruition in the reality around you, because whatever change this is, like, it's not going to feel this chaotic forever. It will calm down. Just kind of like move and flow with the tide a little bit. Find your joy, like, and your peace around this time too. Particularly peace. Spirit really wants to push the word peace. So try to be peace around this time, and, you know, be patient. Like, angels are working in your favor. They just need a little bit of time to do that. Okay. Also, I'm going to roll the angel dice for you to see if we have any lasting messages for you here. And you have number 37. The masters of manifestation are surrounding you and helping you create the life you have always dreamed of. What did I just say? That they were helping you make it happen. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time, because I always read these messages twice. The masters of manifestation are surrounding you and helping you create the life you have always dreamed of. That being said, Pisces, that is your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you, and thank you to your energetic, thank you to your angel guides and your spirit team and my spiritual energies for allowing me to connect with your energy and helping me channel that message. I'm trying to think. No, because like I think Spirit just tried to say something else, and I was like, wait, what? But it faded. So I was like, whoa. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so they're saying like something about a game. Sorry, y'all. They're saying something about a game. So maybe like, I want to say like breaking the ice, but maybe like try to enjoy yourself and get lost in a little bit of a game that you like to play, just for funsies, just to help relieve some of this tension. But anyway, that was that lasting message. Play that game is what I heard. So play that game that brings you a lot of joy. But yeah, so if you liked my stuff, go ahead and like and subscribe and all the things. That way you can keep up to date with me. Leave a comment down below if it so resonates with you, and let me know what did fit with you or what resonated with you. And I also have a Patreon launching very soon, so keep an eye out for that. I also post weeklies often, and I post pick a cards occasionally. So yeah, so I post a lot of stuff. So that being said, Pisces, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I hope you have the best week. Bye.